In Iraq, they told us to watch the hands because the hands will betray the face. A person can have kind eyes, a pleasant smile, a nice face, but they could be grasping a knife. They could have their finger on the trigger. You don't know. And not every enemy has a uniform. Not everyone who wishes to inflict you pain or ill will has a uniform to identify themselves as the enemy, which means we watch their actions. There was one time we captured a few guys escaping out of a palace. So I'm searching one of these guys. I'm checking his hat, I'm checking his feet, his pockets, there's nothing there. I put my hand in his waistband, right? I'm checking his waist area. I find a piece of paper, open it up. Saddam Hussein, that's who it is. It has a timeline, it looks like an invitation to some sort of event. As soon as I pull it up, I hold it up, I said, hey, look, Saddam Hussein, I got a picture of him right here. The guy took the paper, he ripped it up, he threw it on the ground, he spit on it, he stepped on it and said, Saddam's bad, Saddam's bad. And I'm thinking, what an intense reaction to have. If you're gonna carry this paper around with you and now all of a sudden you're ripping it up, didn't make sense to me. Well, fast forward a few hours, we end up releasing these guys. Now, that same guy, he would be apprehended just a couple of weeks later for planning an attack on US soldiers. So his words did not match his actions at all. A lot of people will tell you what you want to hear. They would want to please you. But then if you step back and you watch them, their actions will not align with their words. Now, you might not be in a combat situation, but this same rule applies to you. There was another guy I knew in the military. Great guy, good personality, told amazing stories. Kind of guy you want to have around. Kind of guy that most people liked. But if you ever had to depend on him to get anything done, he would disappoint you almost every time. So this was an individual you couldn't really trust to make things happen. He was the type of guy that you could enjoy a drink with, that you could kick back and share some laughs with, and he would act like your best friend. But he would let you and other people down every time. When it comes to reading people, a lot of people will say, judge the body language. So if someone's folding their arms, they're trying to be distant, or their posture, or what are their facial expressions. But all of that can be faked. What cannot be faked are the actions a person decides to take. You will run along people in life that will say, hey, I'll put in a good word for you at the job. I'll tell my boss you're the guy, or I'll give you a referral. Don't worry, man. Or I'll look at your resume. Don't worry. But that might not come into fruition. That might not be true. And you will be disappointed and let down time and time again. If people act like this, they do not belong in your circle. They cannot be trusted. You have to protect your time and treat it as valuable because it is valuable. And people that waste your time on empty promises, they're not deserving of any of your time. Years ago, there's this other guy. He was a coworker. He wanted some help with his resume. And I said, no problem, man, I got you. This coming Saturday, meet me at this coffee shop. We'll get together. We'll bang something out in about an hour. And he's like, yeah, sure. That sounds great. Okay, let's meet there at 9 a.m. I was there. 8:45, 8:50, I was there a few minutes early, waiting on him. He didn't show up. Waited some more, drank a little coffee, had myself a red velvet muffin, and then I just waited. Before 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, he sends me a text. And he's like, hey, something came up, I'm not gonna be able to make it, I'm so sorry. I said, that's fine, that's not a problem. You know what? Just email me your resume. Email it to me, I'll review it, I'll send it back to you, and we'll take it from there. So he sends me the email. I spend probably over an hour reviewing his resume, making comments, suggestions, changing stuff, messing around with the format, the style, everything like that. And then I send it back to him. And I don't hear from him. A week goes by. 2-3 weeks go by. I don't hear anything about the resume. And I'm seeing this guy at work, he doesn't bring it up. So eventually he comes into my office and he's like, hey, I'm still having a hard time getting a job. I said, did you make those adjustments to the resume? Are you applying with the new resume? And he's like, no, man, I never got around to it. Something came up, I had to do this, that, and the other. I haven't gotten around to it. In the same breath, he's telling me he did not even bother to implement or to respond to any of my changes. He's telling me the system's rigged. I can't get in. Everything's messed up. They're out to get me. All this other stuff. Is at that point I realized there's no help in this guy. You can't change people, right? As much as you'd like to. Whether they're your friend, your relative, your acquaintance, whoever, You cannot change people that do not want to be changed. You have to help yourself first before you're able to receive help. You will come across people that talk the talk, but when it comes time for action, they will not walk the walk. And once again, I'm telling you, these type of individuals are going to hold you down like an anchor. Stay away from them and keep your focus on the hands, not the face. All right, so if you're looking for a government job, or maybe you've already applied and it's taken forever, it's been 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, you're wondering why the process takes such a long time. Well, if you're wondering that, then I want you to watch this video next. If you would like to see more videos like this, please click like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.